And we're hot. And we're late. Sorry, everybody. I was talking to Ed behind the scenes, and I kind of lost track of time there.
Yeah, I
What's
thought we were
going
going to be on
on?
time.
Yeah, I mean, we would have been had I not been running off at the mouth.
Sorry. Well, and then I turned on my light at the last second.
Well, that took all 8 seconds. Not even 8 tenths of a second. Anyway, so I let a video go about an hour ago or so, showing what the fish room looks like right now. Oh no, rookie! You are a rookie. Stop! Stop!
Hi, Uncle
Whew.
Smiley.
Uncle Smiley. I guess I could go through the hellos real quick.
Oh,
I
Jeff
turned
Payne
on
said hi to
my
me too.
phone to be able to see chat better, and then I forgot to turn it off. All right, so we've got Shady McGrady was here first, then Squatchy,
JD.
Uncle Smiley, and then Dirk came in just before we went hot, and that might be all. Yeah, no, nope, Davo and Denny. Hello, Denny. Hello, hello. Uh,
Denny?
and Curtis Crump.
Chris.
So we've got
And Mexicali.
Mexicali. What are you doing here, man? I figured you'd be on the stream somewhere. You've been active lately. Every time I
Well,
turn on the old tube, there he is. He's interviewing somebody else. It's been awesome.
your voice seems to have changed, and it sounds really cool. You sound like some type of professional actor.
I might have the COVID.
Oh, no.
I might. I don't know. I've got some kind of upper respiratory thing going on here, but I feel all right. So we're gonna push forward.
I
I
don't
was
remember what
talking.
you used to sound like.
I
I'm
was
going to
talking to my daughter in
go
a
listen.
southern accent today. I was like, "Well, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get her done, but thank God for YouTube. They showed me the way." You know.
Oh,
We got a lot of lurkers. It looks like because now we're up to 22, but nobody knew. Oh, Stan the Man Pitman is
infinity.
here, and Depth Charge. Hey, bud. Watching on your lunch. You got to work on a Saturday. I'm sorry, buddy. That sucks.
Unless it's a job that he loves.
Nobody loves their job.
Who has
They might
depth
love their
charge?
profession. They might love what they're
Well,
doing, but if they love what they're doing, then it's not a job, right?
the
Hey,
best
Scotty.
occupation was that I've ever heard of was Sports Illustrated swimsuits photos. They had to hire a guy called the Boob Wrangler, and he had to make sure their boobs were perfect in their bikini tops. It's
Got
like
nothing.
they
Nothing
pay a guy
showing.
for
Pick me, pick me.
that.
So
Oh, that's funny.
raisin, is that raisin, Scotty, or is that raisin, or like you're raisin somebody, or is that raisin like you used to eat, or maybe some people still do? Been cutting meat for 25 years. I must like it. Yep, I suppose so.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I used to think it'd be awesome to be a butcher.
I always wanted to go to school and get my license or my educated in animal husbandry and focus on wolves. That was my big dream. And instead, I went to uh, school for art and never did anything with it. Now I cut down trees for a living. Heather Green. Hello, Heather Green. I'm using my new COVID voice. Does it sound good?
Very cool. Well, I went to school originally to be a cartographer, a map maker.
Ah, oh, that was
Yeah.
a weird noise. Nice. And you didn't do anything with that either.
No, I ended up, well, that's what my dad did. So I had an in, but at the time he was getting burned out. And so he really persuaded me not to. And then, like 10 years later, when he was about to retire, he was like saying, "Son, I wish you would have went into this field because it's been a great job for me over the last." And it's like, gee, thanks, Dad.
Right? Hey, Zenny. How are you, girl? Good to
Yeah,
see you.
Zan.
And Salient, Mr. Jesse's here. I tried
Well,
to
it
talk.
is overcast and rainy here today.
That was yesterday here. I haven't even looked
Oh,
outside
yes.
today.
Today it looks like it should be like snowing because it's like you can only see so far and everything's white. But I don't know what the temperature is. Let's see. It stormed and thundered and winded yesterday. It's 53 degrees, so it's way too warm for snow. But
Yeah, yeah. Same here. It was like 49.
it looks like snow. Just weird.
Denny
Like the
said,
sky
hey
looks
again. Hello, Whips
good old
World and
Dennis.
Ed Nuga.
Ed Nuga.
Salient,
So
that
what are you
makes me
doing?
uncomfortable.
If you're healthy for the New Year's, do you got big plans?
Not big plans. I talked to a buddy of mine. Usually I go out with my old not high school, college roommate. We stayed tight over the years, and
The one I
we,
met?
yes, yep. Um, we generally do New Year's Eve together for the last like 30 years or whatever. But he has missed at least once. I've missed once because of he went to Cancun. Then one year it just snowed so bad, and he lives far enough away. He's up by Madison. It's
Yeah, he's
about
in Wisconsin.
yeah. So it's a bit of a cruise. So I didn't want to risk going up there. Uh, and then this year he's going back to Mexico. The deal is his brother, his older brother, who is a I'm really good friends with his brothers too. I mean, his whole family is totally cool. Um, his birthday is on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. I don't remember which, but
Hopefully New Year's Eve, so his family got the extra tax credit.
but
Abby,
they
my niece, is that
the
way.
big days like 60 and 65 and 50, they all gather down in the warmth of Mexico.
Oh, wow. I
So
wish I
Mike
could get
B
my family to go to
is here.
Mexico.
Hey, Mike B. And Ben Sharp. Sorry, I totally
Ben?
beat right over what you were saying. What's going on? What you
I
said?
wish I could get my family to go to Mexico and have fun. I mean, they would love going deep sea fishing and stuff like that.
Well, this isn't family. I mean, he's my family by choice, not by blood. But I don't know that I could get any of my family to go. Maybe my sister, but that would be about it. And last time my sister went, she broke her face.
Oh, gosh.
That she was making a run for it in the downpour, and her feet went out this way, and somehow she landed on this side of her face. So I don't know how that works, but she landed. I mean, she looked like she had been on a few rounds with Mike Tyson there for a little while.
My mom and dad, they used to rent a condo for the winter every year down in Panama City, Florida, and Panama City Beach in Florida. And one time they saw some kids, they took off, on those parachute things that are being drugged by a boat, but it broke free and they
Oh
crashed
no,
into the condo right next to theirs and bashed their heads all up. But
that's
they
not
fell
good.
into somebody's balcony, so they survived. Otherwise, they would have fallen to their deaths, maybe.
Well, I mean, theoretically, they would just come down. I mean, eventually they would have come down, but like a
Yeah, but
kite.
when it runs into something, it deplodes, or
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
parachute goes, and then they
Yes.
went, and they swung and smashed their faces in, but fell into the thing. But luckily, it didn't like the parachute go and then blow up again and pull them out. That would have
Right.
been bad. I would have been like taking that harness off as fast as I could.
Let me tell you, you learn fast. Now, the harnesses are very similar to the equipment I wear when I climb trees. So the very first time I went parasailing, I don't know if I've told this story before, but if I have, just stop me because nobody wants to hear it
I
twice. But
I would like to hear it.
so my sister and I, the whole thing was goofy. No, that wasn't the time. That was the second time. That was another crazy time I went parasailing. The first time, the guy was encroaching upon somebody else's territory. They all have little territories down there. And they market to that the people in these particular condos. And if somebody else comes in and takes their business, they get all pissy. So this guy did that, and or he had been doing that, and he's telling us on the boat. He's like, I like to screw with people sometimes, and I'll slow the boat down, and I'll let them come all the way down to the water and dip their toes in the water, and then we'll take off again, and we bring them back up. And right at the end, I mean, I was up there for like a half an hour, 45 minutes, and right at the end, he starts dropping me down, dropping me down, dropping me down, and I'm like, dude, this would have been scarier had you not told me that you do this. Well, my toes went in, then my knees went in, then my hips went in, then my body went in, and then the whole chute came down on top of me. So I'm underwater, trapped underneath this giant umbrella, and I'm locked in. I'm tied in. It's not like I can just swim away. I was familiar enough with the harness to be able to unlatch it, swim out from underneath the canopy, and then swim back to the boat. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a big goof when it comes to in the ocean. It scares me a little bit. Uh, I mean, not
Of
like where I
course.
can't function or anything, but I know there's
Well,
fish
there's
in there that are
mangoes.
they're a lot bigger than
Mangoes.
me. And of course, in my head, as I'm swimming towards the boat, the closer I get to the boat, the louder the Jaws theme is in my head. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like looking around. Where is it? I know it's out here. It's gonna get me. But it turns out somebody sabotaged his engines, and they put some kind of pink liquid in there. So he's like, "Yeah, both engines just died on me." So I'm like, "Man, I thought you were jacking around, but nope, that was not the case." Yeah, got us a free trip, a shelling trip that I'm sure he hated every second of because it was a long one. It was like a 3-hour deal where he could have been making money, but he was trying to make it so that I didn't turn him over to the whatever authority runs all the different events and stuff down there. And that's when he told us on the boat the second time. He's like, "Yeah, I think I made somebody mad. They looks like they sabotaged our boat." And then he showed us the pink liquid that he pulled out. He's like, "Yeah, that." I'm like, "Oh, well, probably shouldn't do that then, huh?"
That sucks. GLB's in the house. That was
Who?
terrible. That
Jody
trade
P.
and
I
Jody
try really
P.
hard. I'm trying, Jody. I'm trying really hard not to call you Judy just because it was funny, but it's only funny for so long. But Steve Vaught calls her Judy all the time. So like, every time he does it, I crack up. Did you? She made her first appearance on the Salient morning show today. Not her,
Oh,
I mean, but she showed her tanks, and
that's awesome.
yeah, she's got a really cool setup. 35 tanks, 40s and 20s mostly. It looks like. I think that's what she said. It was very cool. So GRB is here. Did you say that? Vanoski's here.
Good morning,
Cecil's here.
GLB.
Hey, bud.
Cecil. Oh my God, I can't say Vanoski.
Vanoski.
I wanted to say with a G, and it kept coming out with a G in my head, and it was like, no, that's not right.
Nathan Hubby's here. Hubby Dubby Lovey. Hubby Lovey Dubby.
Hey, partner. Nathan's my buddy.
He is. I've failed him twice now, 2 years in a row.
How?
He lives right where we vacation, like I think within like a town, so inside a half an hour, probably less.
In
And
Florida?
yeah,
Oh, wow.
the last year, I'm like, man, this whole freaking 2 weeks I was down there, I couldn't I couldn't break away for even a half an hour. It seemed like my buddy wanted to do stuff like every day, and then we had my kids down there, and I don't know, it was just a big mess. I mean, it was fun, but I mean, I told Nathan I'd hook up with him, and then I never did. Same with not Mexicali. Um, who's
Richard
the
Reynolds?
no, the Florida guy down there?
LRB? Oh,
Garcia.
Garcia.
Yeah.
I ran into
Um,
Garcia, and when I was in Miami, that's when I first met him.
I
That was like
assume
4
at
years ago.
Aquashella.
No, it was a ALA, and we
Oh,
were at the food truck. Funny. But he wasn't even there for the ALA, because what the ALA does is they don't like to organize anything on their own. So they have somebody else try to figure it out for them. And there's this fish show that's always down there it's like a giant swap type thing. And they had them organize it for them. Or the ALA came at the same time as the fish swap that year. So I was there for that, and he went to that fish swap, and then I found out about the fish swap and went to it, and that's when I became good friends with Grant and Shelby too, because I'd met them several times through Aquashella, but they were just the shrimp people.
yeah. Aquashella and the Clash, unless the Clash wasn't happening yet.
The Clash. That was no, the Clash was going on. The Clash has been going on for years,
Yeah, no,
maybe
but not
longer than
since
all of them.
the first one that was really big was the one that Rico went to first, right? Remember when he was pushing it to everybody go?
Yeah,
I think
I
I think that's when it turned.
well, it used to be pretty big when Scott King of Queens was doing it.
Right, but there was no
And
social media to it, right? Not
right.
really.
And
Yeah.
I wanted to go to that really bad back then because I wanted to see the biggest fish swap in America. And then I missed out on it 3 years in a row. And Rico ended up going before me.
Well, I don't. Is it the biggest swap? Because I thought Iowa had that.
No, it's not the biggest swap, it's the biggest show. The
Oh, okay.
biggest competition.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
kind of a small swap. They don't really do a swap even.
not really. I mean, there's some people are selling stuff, but and then there's a thing at the end, the auction. But
Yeah. The ACO, man, that might be the biggest swap. It's more like a flea market though than a swap. How you go from room to room.
I don't know that that is bigger than. You'll have to go unless you already been there and you know that one
Not
in
for
Iowa
years.
is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. At the Tri-Cities. Is that
Yeah.
what you called? They used to they used to send me a letter every year to remind me to go. And because I was
You're
in St.
close.
Louis. So yeah, I was like 4 hours south of it. But they would
It's
send it to me every time they had one.
the Quad City, but yeah, right.
Quad City.
Yeah, I think they
Mine was
draw
only
like 5 to 6,000 people
that's crazy.
every weekend they do it, and I don't know what the OCA does, but I don't know if they do.
It can't be that much.
I
I was
wouldn't
just
think
thinking
so.
though, for sure, vendors, because there just seems like but I mean, some people are only selling tanks of fish at the OCA, in their
Right,
room.
right. Some aren't selling any fish at all. Some of it's all dry good. It was very interesting. I'll definitely go back. You know,
Yeah,
if
I definitely want to go back the next year
vacation allows.
or this. Yeah.
What's Nathan say here? Whip, I wouldn't say this last time wasn't all you. You did reach out, and I was just busy with work and 50-50. Yeah. Still, I mean, I was sitting on my ass for 2 weeks. I could have made I could have made a bigger effort. It's hard to get up off that
Nathan,
chair though once you got a margarita in your hand.
Nathan, do you ever go collecting? Man, if I lived in Florida, I would probably have so many different varieties of fish because I'd go collecting a lot.
Yeah,
I
that'd
have
be
one
something
tank
too.
filled with my collected fish from
I have
Florida.
never done that ever in my life.
Oh my God, it's so much fun, especially in Florida because there's alligators.
Yeah,
And alligators don't mess with you, but it's still a whole new element that's fun.
yeah, right. I've said that to people for a long time. I said alligators don't look at us as food. We're too big, unless it's a really big alligator. I mean, I'm sure they
Yeah.
take a person once in a while. I've seen it on YouTube, but I think for the most part, they'll grab your dog, but they're not looking to grab you. Zenny
Well,
says, "Yeah, I heard about it when Scott and with Scott and Liz, and it was being promoted by Chris Biggs. Chris Biggs is still heavily. Well, I don't know how involved, but he was definitely there. I met him. I sat at Big Rich's kitchen table and shot the shit with him for oh god, a couple hours.
well, is she talking about the Clash or is she talking about the OCA?
Oh, you know what? Has to be talking about the Clash. So yeah,
Yeah, because the
I haven't
Clash
seen.
was his thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Why not collect in Tennessee? Well,
Oh, yeah.
GRB,
She's talking about the Clash.
our state has about the largest variety of darters left in North America. And
Yeah,
so
but you
what they've
can't
done is
collect
they
those.
well, that's what I'm getting to is
Oh,
GRB said why not collect
oh,
in
yeah.
Tennessee. Tennessee has made it against the law to take any fish out of the waters alive. And so that means you can go fishing and catch a bass and eat it, or stuff it or whatever, but they don't want you taking the darters and the shiners. And the shiners wouldn't be a big deal, but it's the darters, it's the big deal. So Tennessee is a sucky place to collect fish because you can collect them and then you got to put them back. But I'm right on the Georgia border, so I can get a Georgia fishing license and go collect me some rainbows or something like that. Rainbow
I
shiners.
mean, really, you could do that even in Tennessee, as long as you're not caught. I mean, but yeah, you know,
What's the fine? Is it $10,000?
it's probably more than you want to risk.
I mean, if you
Uh,
had a stream in your own backyard,
yeah,
I'm
well,
going to ask.
that's um, Nathan said he has not gone collecting yet either. Back in the day when I swam with the gators all the time, back in the day, we swam with the gators all the time. We had this one pond that was absolutely stacked with them. My friend went under the water and came up under one and grabbed it, caught it, and it was only 2 feet. So a 2 footer, yeah, they can still bite you pretty good, but they're not gonna be chewing on you.
This
Hey,
the max
Jeannie's
fine.
here,
The max fine is $25 a fish.
and that's
I
if they
thought it would
catch
be
you.
like, yeah, but I thought it would be like $10,000 or something crazy. Hmm.
Oh
Okay,
wow,
I
tough
just had to
laws.
look that up.
Interesting. Thanks. Yep. Yeah, GRB. It's Tennessee. I've been learning. I mean, anything. You can't collect anything. Turtles, anything, right?
Well, it used to be you can collect snapping turtles because they've got plenty of snapping turtles, but all the other turtles are off limits. They're just trying
Yeah.
to keep the environment to where it is because people were coming and taking it all out. And
We,
so,
we got we got double Johnny here. We got Johnny No Shoes. in the house, and we got Select Pet coming in too.
Awesome. John from Select Pet, he knows all the laws.
Yep. Well, he's
I can go
Kentucky
up
though,
to
right?
Kentucky and
Is
collect. Yeah, but he is as good of a Tennessean as me. He's probably been in Tennessee longer than I've been in Tennessee, just with all of his visits here.
maybe they include bait fish that aren't supposed to be collected. Then that per fish fee could be pretty hefty. Yeah, yeah. If you're out there collecting rainbow shiners for your bait, that
Well, see, that's the way around it. Is they do have a thing about you can collect bait fish, live bait fish, which would be shiners. But I don't know. I haven't gotten into all the details on how to keep them because, like, I could say, I put them in my fish tank, but I bet you're supposed to release them at the end of the day. But that's how they got all those Asian carp released in the wild, was because people were dumping Asian carp as bait fish in. So
right. And now they're crazy,
yeah,
crazy,
everybody in Missouri hates people from
crazy for
Tennessee because of that.
feeling lonely.
My state's responsible too. They narrowed it down to the fish farm that was selling those fish as bait that
Was
people
it
were
illegal
dumping
at
in
the
the
time?
Mississippi. Well, they're supposed to radiate the bigger fish so you can put them in your pond and eat the weeds because they're Asian carp that just eat weeds like crazy. And there are two different types. There's a giant one and a medium-sized one. The medium ones are the ones that jump real bad. But what happened is they were like, "Oh, we got all these babies. Let's just sell them." Well, they weren't being irradiating the babies, so they were still fertile. Just because it doesn't look like a carp when it's this big, it's still a carp, and
Right.
it'll get big. And our rivers have been plagued with these stupid things. The only people that are fishing them out is the St. Louis Zoo that I've heard. St. Louis Zoo has found out that they can feed them to their animals and they like them. So a lot of the animals are eating the carp out of the river, but man, it's still not enough. They really need to figure out a way to just poison them all or something. It sounds terrible, but
You can't poison them because you'd end up having friendly casualties and stuff, and people lose their minds. So
oh, I know,
Shady
but
said, "Sorry for not saying hello to everyone, but I had an emergency clog in my Eheim filter intake and had to clear it out." Well, buddy, that is way more important than listening to me ramble on. That is for sure and for certain. And then Asia came in. Hello, Asia. And Cat House. Hello, hello.
yes.
John, Select Pet John, not to be confused, but no shoes. My state is dumb. They allow goldfish as bait. So now there's invasive goldfish populations all over. Yep, that's dumb.
Wow. Wow.
That is no
Yeah.
good.
At least they didn't do that in Missouri.
Because they have huge spawns. I don't know about they're probably the same because they're both carp, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean I've seen people get overrun by goldfish, quick, fast, and in a hurry. There's a guy, I won't say who he was or nothing, but there's a guy that works at a factory slash IT place on the northeast side of Rockford that they have a retention pond that's always full. It never dries up. So he thought it'd be cool to let goldfish go in there. And now there's a couple thousand goldfish in there. Like he released 12, and now there's
Wow.
thousands of them.
I've got a goldfish right now. It's a fancy pants one. Uh Foxy Fish gave it to me, but it's like it's about the size of a softball now, but now it's developed a swim bladder issue. And I was when it first started happening, I was doing lots of salt, lots of salt, and then pulling the water out every week, doing lots of salt. And
Hi, Teresa.
That started to stop working, so I went to a better type of food, and that didn't help at all. And so the poor little guy, he's on his upside down all the time. And his little friend goldfish in there, who's actually bigger because it eats more now, is always sitting right next to him staring at him. And it's so sad because he's like worried about his little friend dying, but it's been like months.
Right. So John
Pour the
said,
food over him. Sorry.
Teresa says, I'm here lurking in the background watching on my television. Hi, Teresa. Cat House
Teresa.
says carp is good garden fertilizer. I believe that. Most fish are. John says goldfish are very hardy, and water temp is in the summer cools in the deeper areas, but still, folks keep them outdoor ponds all summer. Zenny was saying that she was surprised they live through the heat. And then she corrected
Yeah,
you. Did you see that? She corrected you?
me?
Yeah, she says, Ed, they're just a fancy goldfish. They're not fancy pants goldfish.
I didn't see that.
Dee Dee says, I
Well,
remember Freaky Fish Lady casting some beautiful fancy goldfish in a stream near her house a few years back. Oh, so she was using goldfish, fancy goldfish, to go fishing. Wow, that is hey,
well, I
it's
got all
Whippin'
the
Ed.
pins.
Hey Matt, how you doing?
Matt, Matt's my friend.
One of like three. He hates
Yeah.
everybody.
Well, you don't tell everybody that, or they won't like me.
He tells everybody that. I'm not saying anything new.
Oh, you meant Matt.
Yeah.
I thought you meant me.
No, not you.
I got
He said, GRB says, I transferred a few hundred tadpoles, a couple of empty algae filled tanks to take care of the algae. Is that what they do? Overnight. Yeah, that's what they do. Overnight, zero algae left.
surprised
Mattias.
my cats aren't in
I
here.
like it. Hey, Adele's here. Hi, Adele.
Good day, Adele. Pet your cat for me. What's Adele's cat's name?
Fuck you, Mattias. I am only here for Ed. Whip I can do without.
Me too. But this new Whip voice I really like. He's like been going to acting classes to learn a new way to dynamic his voice.
I just need somebody to punch me in the throat every morning and I can keep doing
Dizzy.
this.
I think I knew that.
I don't know. She'll have to answer that.
She did. Dizzy.
Oh, she did. Yes. Yep. There it is.
And I think I knew that. Sometimes it's hard to remember everybody's cat's names.
There's no way. I mean, I'm sure I've heard her talk about Disney multiple times, but yeah, for me to retain that, not. I struggle with my own friends and kids.
Both my cats must be sleeping right now.
No. You mean not one of them has their ass right on your face right now?
Nope.
All right. What are you working on? Anything fun?
Nothing. I'm just sitting
Nothing.
and hanging out. I've been kind of
Cool.
playing with this Godzilla for a little bit underneath the screen so nobody can see it. But yeah,
They
I didn't prepare
electrofish.
anything.
How do they do
Oh
that
my
without
god.
killing everything else?
No, they electro them, but they don't kill them. They pull them out. Like I went to Smithton Lake, and as a kid, as a field trip, and they had like this. They had the conservationists, and they had these giant cables that went like around under the boat and back up, and they had an electric generator and started up, and it would electrocute the fish, and they'd all float to the top, and they could see what they were. They could tag them or look at them or measure them, and
Right.
then they say they wake up like in a couple of minutes. And I always thought, man, I want one of those boats when I grow up so I can be a good fisherman.
Dee Dee must have watched my video because she just like the one thing I want to do next year is and keep a plant not just alive, but to grow a plant, to actually grow a plant. And she says, Whip's goal for next year is to keep one plant alive.
Poor Whip.
That was not doing too bad. I'm surprised that it's doing as well as it is. I mean, I bought it
Wow.
big. I bought it big like that. But all those suckers, all those runners, that's all new. So that actually grew in my tank.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Chris Aquazone is here. You might remember him.
No way. He's my friend.
I don't know
No,
that
he's
I've
not really
seen
my
him.
friend. He's my dungeon master.
Yeah, he's your master.
I cannot consider him a peer because he is
43
above
people.
that.
What happened? Somebody must have logged off.
He is above a peer. We have 7 likes right now.
Come on, peoples. Jim Fish is here. Jim's Fish is here. Zenny says, "Oh,
Jimmy
but
Fish.
I bet if I were to electrocute my hill streams to be able to catch them for shipping, all of a sudden I'd be an animal rights threat." Gah!
Hey, Zen. Do you have a hard time catching those guys?
They're
When I had
impossible.
to catch 16 of them, and I only caught 14 and took them to JN's Aquatics. But they let me keep the 2 I didn't catch. So that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
But so catching everyone that I could see was pretty good then, I guess.
I don't think it updates
32.
because you're seeing 7, but other people are seeing 30 and 32.
Oh, 32 on my end. Well, you know what? How about I hit this refresh button? $31. So
There
somebody
you go.
went down.
Somebody unliked me.
Yep. Oh, Cat House sees 33. I'm going to refresh again. 33. I had to
Hey,
refresh twice.
so 2025. I kind of already did this already, so there's no real reason to go around the room. But I got to get my 150 over here I bought from Jason resealed because it failed after moving it and letting it sit out in the garage all winter. I think with the cold and it contracted the silicone, and then it got hot and it released it, and I think that messed with it because now it's leaking. And I got to get that fixed. I got to update. I have to upgrade this 40 breeder to a 65 high. I've got to take that 75 and swap it out with a 90 that I have in the closet. And then I have an
fish tank in your closet?
It's just being stored up there, in there. And I know on the video I screwed up because I said the 75 will go there and then the 55 will go underneath it. But what I should have said was the 90. I have another 90 upstairs that's sitting in my wife's office, and she's itching to get that out of there. I'll pull that down, set that up in there, put the 75 underneath it. 55 can stay where it was, where it is. And that will be my goal as far as tanks go. I was telling Jesse and that gang in that stream, I am not one to put tanks low. Now that I'm getting a little bit older,
I
I
know
don't
how
want
it
to be
is.
I don't want to be on the floor to maintain or even look at my fish. So everything is big. That's why I got big. Well, not the only reason, but that's why I like big tanks with big viewing panels. Um, I can walk up and just look in without any issues. So that's the goal with all of these. Hopefully, if I can get the stands all the same height, then all the tanks will be 24 inches tall, so it'll all be one level all the way across. And they'll all be 18 inches deep on this side, 24 on that side,
Wow, that's
front to
awesome.
back. So that's my plan. That is the plan. And then eventually I can break up and go fish from the continent of India, fish from or the country of South America, fish from the country of Central America, fish, smaller, non-predator type fish from South America, North American fish, African fish, and I haven't really decided what I want to do with this one. It's a 65, so
Just kick it in.
everything is big.
Well,
That's right.
I'll buy a lottery ticket after the show, and maybe we'll win $1 billion, and then we'll turn your place into Jeremy's house.
Did nobody win last night? I was very disappointed in
Oh,
myself.
crap. I hope not. I didn't buy one yesterday. I
I
thought it
didn't
was
either.
today.
The wife even said you should go buy a lottery ticket. At least put your name in the hat, and I didn't do it.
Somebody find out. Zen, this is a job for you. Please? Well, I've got a situation. I got this wood, and I got it with John, this big piece of wood, when I was hanging out with John last
This
time
is gonna be
in
this is gonna
Knoxville.
be kid friendly, right?
Yeah, it's this great big round root system that's like, it doesn't go deep, but it goes way out. Real cool. And I want to put it at the top of my 200. My 200 is a real tall tank. So it'd have all these branches coming out at the top of the water. That's what my goal was. But how would you secure it to the side
Ted,
of the tank?
can you explain it again? I was reading chat because now I'm depressed because both Chris
It,
and John said California. Somebody in California won it.
why did
Say it
everybody
again.
win in
I know
California?
that's what John said. It's always California. What are you trying to do now?
Do you want me to get the piece of wood?
I sure.
Okay, think about something good to talk about.
Okay. I can catch up on chat because I saw Zenny wrote a book and so did Nathan and so did Asaya. Okay, so both you guys are planning to go to the Clash in 2005. Any special plans at the Clash? I know Foxy's getting married. That's special enough right there. And yes, I think we're both planning on going. Zenny says, FYI, Ed. Oh, this is for Ed, and he's not here. I lay a clear specimen container with the flat side against the glass in the front bottom of the tank, and then use a net to corral them into it, and then yank it up when I have it one end. We're talking about getting fish, right? Boom, boom. Asia says, last night I moved 5 coolies from quarantine to their new home, and it was a workout. I nearly gave up. I imagine those things are, whew, I don't know if they're as fast as regular loaches, like what they're talking about, but yikes. Please remember to unplug the internal fish tank electrical equipment before maintenance. Yes, for sure and for certain. It's harder to drain lower tanks. That is for sure. I hate it. What do we got there, Ed?
Oh, I want to put this in the top corner, uh, right side corner of my 200, but I want it up high. So these things are not at the bottom of the tank, but at the top.
What if you turned it upside down?
What would that do for it?
You want them up top.
Well, it's a 4-foot tank.
Oh,
So it's a 4-foot tank. So it's a real deep tank. And I thought this would be cool
4 foot.
if it was
I
secured.
forget how deep that is every time you tell me that. Mine
4
are.
foot is like, if a foot is 12 inches, it would be like 48 inches.
It's as tall as my tanks are, like, other than the two 6-footers. I have one, two, three, four 4-foot tanks, but they're sideways, side to side, not top to bottom. Nathan says, "Yeah, I have tanks. I have tanks at 2x4 off the
See,
ground.
the lights aren't on right now because it's
Yeah,
all
but I
dark
can see
over
it.
there, but
Yeah, yeah.
you can see the big ladder is right against it.
Yep.
It's a big, tall tank.
That's a big, tall tank. And I have 155 almost to the ceiling. It's hard to reach the top and feed. Never again will I need a ladder to feed tanks in 2025. Dude, I mean, there's so many. I get it that people want to have 40 tanks, 100 tanks, whatever the case is. And you can't have that many tanks in your house if you're not going to stack them. It's impossible. So I get that, but no, I'm not going to be crawling around in a ladder. Not that I would need one necessarily. I probably would to do gravel backing. And I'm not crawling around on the ground anymore. I am not 25. I'm not even 35. Hell, I'm not even 45.
John says make a canopy. The problem is this tank, because it's so tall, they had to make it double glass on top. So it has like 2 big holes at the top. So, and the glass comes in probably 3 to 4 inches all the way around.
So it's almost like
So
acrylic.
yeah, but it's a solid glass. Because
Yeah, but that's
when you
what
have
acrylic
water,
do, right? I
yeah,
mean, yeah, yeah.
but that's because this is how it was explained to me, and maybe it's totally wrong. But glass is a liquid that's just really hard. But when you put a lot of water against it, it starts to bow. And there's like only 30 inches, I think, you can get before it starts to bow real bad. Or maybe I think it's about 30 inches. So then you have to start going with really thick materials once you get past that level. And since I went 48 inches, it's really thick glass and it has to be secured all over to keep it. And it was I got this tank maybe 20 years ago for my house because it was supposed to be a window in my house in Missouri.
One ticket, one all.
Wow. Well, that just ruined my New Year's.
Right? I have 355 stacked. Yeah, and depending on how you do it, like if you have it like on like almost like a stair, so that the front one is like at your knees, and then the next one is set back, and then the top one is set even further back. Now, that would make it hard to feed, but at least they're not necessarily, you know, 8 feet in the air, because
Stephen B is in the house.
screw that. Not Stephen P. I mean, having it 8 feet in the air. Sorry, Stephen. I did that was
Well,
poorly timed.
but I mean, I could just put it at the bottom, because this is a cool looking piece regardless.
Yeah.
But I just thought it'd be kind of neat to have it up at the top
You could
since they're
silicone it.
rainbows.
I mean, it would probably stay if you were to silicone it. You'd have to support
It
it for a
weighs
while till
so
it dries.
much. Yeah. I mean, I bet you this thing weighs 25 pounds at least.
Oh man, that's probably too much. Yeah,
I
you would
know.
have to somehow come up with some kind of support system. Silicone it in and then have wire holding it up, or fishing line or something.
But it's going to be for the rainbows and the Congo Tetris.
Chris booked his room for the Clash.
Oh my God, I gotta do that.
I did it. I already did it.
Damn
It's
it.
freaking expensive, dude. It's almost $1,000. Just in
That's how much I
hotel.
think I spent. Yeah, well, I got it for, what is it, like $120 a night?
I think it's more than that. I could be wrong. I think it was like 130 though.
Well, okay, $5
It was
a night.
700 and something after taxes and all that crap.
And what was your days?
Wednesday to Monday. So I'll probably knock some of
That's what
that
I'm
off
gonna do.
by, yeah. I don't know
That's
that
what
I'll
I'll
get
be
there
doing.
Wednesday. That's a
I'll
nice
be
piece
there
of
Wednesday.
wood, Miss Dee Dee
Well, thank
says.
you. Dee Dee, I can always count on you to compliment
And
my
then
wood.
John said, please hold while Ed goes and shows us his big wood.
Isn't this? I think this is the piece. I have another piece that's flat that spreads out. Oh, Lord. But I think this is it because that's the only tank that this one will fit in.
Yeah, probably. And even then, it might be a little tight because that looks like it's over
look,
2 feet. Have you tried it yet?
well, you never know. I may have to cut some,
Is
but I was
is
going to
it
put it in the corner.
right? But I mean, what are your dimensions on that thing? 4 feet by what?
4 feet by 2 feet by 5 feet.
Oh, pardon me. So I mean, if it's under 2 feet, it should be fine. I had trouble getting the 5-footer that I have in my 210 in there.
Let's see. I think this is 2 feet, my level.
Nathan said he's 44, but my knees are like a 95-year-old. It took me a solid minute to get up from a kneeling down the other day. Once I'm up, I'm okay. It's just getting off the ground. Yep. I'm still pretty good, but there's no reason for me to be climbing around down there. Eventually, I'm not going to be good anymore. I mean, people give me shit all the time that you're too old to be doing that because I do a lot of stuff that I used to do as a kid. Still,
Like paragliding.
I would do that. No, but like I'll walk on a railing or just silly crap that we used to do as a kid. Stepping over
I don't do
like
any of it
rows and rows
anymore.
and rows of chairs.
I would fall and break my knee.
Stephen P. So if you can't support it from the bottom and you can't from the top, then hollow out the wood and fill it with foam. But even then, it would be pretty tip heavy.
I
But it
was
would.
thinking about trying to put some type of clamp on it.
You could do
But the
that. I mean,
problem is I don't
you
want
could
to
go
ruin.
right at the top.
I've got a really nice lid on that thing though, because I used to keep my Beischer that I loved in there, and so I had to make a really good lid so he wouldn't jump out. And I think that rainbows like to jump too, don't they? So I have to make
I
sure that
have
I have
heard
a good
so.
lid.
Stephen would probably be a better one to ask than me. But hey, Keystone Clash is actually here. Clashy.
Hola, Clashy.
Hola, amigo.
No, I think it was Clashy.
A bunch of people saying hi. Lay the wood on its side with the roots going all kinds of directions.
I think I might have a smaller one that's like a redwood that has more branches. I just didn't want to go in the fish room and go through all that wood. This piece was in my I've got a lot of wood. I really like the wood.
Woo. So his bottom tank is 5 feet off the ground, 5.5 feet off the ground, and it goes up from there. 55s. Jesus.
What I would do is I would take like I think it's called a C-clamp, and put a 2x4 on the, or not a 2x4, but a piece of wood on the back of my tank and clamp it to this piece of wood. But I just don't know how to do it without tearing up my lid.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is any, yeah, you can put it in the tank sideways with the stump part of on the substrate and the branches reaching. Yeah, that, but then it's at the bottom, right? Out of the tank top, or you have to.
Oh, this won't be out of it. It's not 4 foot tall.
Right.
Baby
And they're
cat
saying
just woke up.
140-ish. 140-ish for the room.
Ooh.
I'm trying not to put
Well, the good
wood in this new setup. It's difficult for me. I just don't want to deal with shedding mulm in this one. Yeah, if you get the wrong wood, that is a definite issue. And not the wrong wood necessarily, but certain types. Baby kitty.
she's looking at you on the other screen. Look, that's us over there.
Found an irresistible stump driftwood piece. Wazelways way. I don't know what that means, but it's too big for any of his tanks.
I've got a super giant chunk of wood that too big for my tanks too. Well, not the 200, but it wouldn't look good in my 200. I want to get a round tank. My big round piece of wood. Want me to show you my big round wood?
Yeah, let's see that big round wood. Ashia, ever use Malayan driftwood? It's got a very slow deterioration in my experience. It's got a very slow deterioration rate in my experience, but gives off some tannins at first. Yeah, that's another issue. I used some eucalyptus from KG Tropicals. Lisa sent me some. I mean, I paid for it, but I asked her to pick out a really cool piece. And woof, that thing was turning my water like coffee brown for a year and a half. I had to specially build a pond for it. The Centrap. Hey,
This is
that
my big
is
round wood.
that almost looks like a old pole. That
It is.
oh yeah,
It was in the river for years or something, and they pulled it out.
be careful with that because they use cedar for the poles.
You think this big? Oh no, it was a pier, like a dock pier,
Oh
not a telephone pole.
yeah.
But man, it's big. But I've had it now for almost 4 years. I thought it'd be cool if I'd ever get a round tank to put it in.
That would be cool. And then just have fish swimming around it.
Yeah, I thought little puffers, pea puffers would be cool. But I mean,
I was
it is
so
a big ass
excited to
piece of
have
wood.
multiple tanks. I rushed building the rocks and whatnot. Hopefully 2025 brings me a completely different fish room. I want my biggest tanks to be in the 40 and 50, same footprint. So it must be 40 long or something.
Hey, did you know Benjamin Peters was here?
I didn't. I haven't got that far yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just pretend
Maddie
like I didn't
says,
say
that's a
anything.
pretty confident statement, Ed. I've got a lot of wood.
Well, look. This is a hunk of wood. A big ass hunk of wood.
And Dee Dee says, Matt, there's nothing like confidence.
Uh-oh, Nico's now coming up. He's not going to like having
Aquatic
this wood
Ness.
here.
Hi, Nessie. How are you doing?
Hi, Ness. Let's see if Nico's gonna like this wood. It's in your spot, isn't it? He's sniffing my wood.
It just sounds so wrong. I was born with what I was born with. Quit wood shaming.
Oh,
Wow.
here, I'll move it so you can sit. Oh. Oh, and then he left.
See how he is.
Making space for
That's a
him.
that's a typical cat for you.
I tell you what, these came out pretty cool though.
Yeah, they did.
It looks like a stone thing.
Hi, Benjamin.
You see my name?
I do. Benny. I haven't. That was a new one for me. I haven't heard anybody call you Benny before. But it is Miss Dee Dee. She can get away with anything.
I think this one came out pretty cool too.
Yeah. Where's my name? I didn't see my name in there.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
My name, Ed.
Good.
I'm gonna, whenever I do these weird shape or like languages and stuff, I'm gonna put an Ed in there. Is Ed making Fox? Oops, something about
Oh,
Foxy.
right there. I got it right there.
Some wedding decorations. Oh, jeepers! I don't know. I don't think she wants any of my decorations.
Fake wood is working out for me. Yeah. Hey, June's here.
Hi, June.
And Nancy B. Holy cow. I almost skipped right by him.
Nancy B. in
Hi, Nancy
Tennessee.
B. When do you guys all hook up?
I don't know. Either New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. But I think it's New Year's Eve day because then we couldn't see the aquarium if we hooked up at New Year's Eve. I really need to check because I'm bad about getting the wrong day on accident. The owl
Is
and the
Ed showing?
cat.
Yeah. Remember, that's what I called it, or I called it a kitty and a cat, which made no sense. And then because I meant octopus and a cat, and then I don't remember what Skip said. He might have said an owl and a cat. I don't know.
There's Big Steve. Okay, she
Big
says she's
sexy.
going to be on Tuesday in New York.
No. Try it again.
Tuesday at New York Eve. East. Tuesday, New York New Year Eve.
Ed,
Well,
I'm not going to go get any wood, but I need to get something to drink. I am. Hey, Jenna. I
oh
am
my
in
gosh,
trouble here.
Genevieve
So,
here.
Jenna P. If I got to go another 56 minutes, I got to have something to drink. Hold the fort down
Go
for
ahead.
me.
I will. I will do
Oh,
my best.
I'm getting up like a Rico. Ugh.
So this Tuesday, I am going to get to hook up with Nancy B and not Jenna, Kelly Foreman, and it's Jake coming? I imagine Jake will be there. That's Kelly's better half. And Nancy, are you bringing your significant other? I don't know. I don't know really the details. I just say yes, I want to be there because they were gracious enough to ask me to come along to the Tennessee Aquarium with them, and I have a membership, so it doesn't cost me anything, and I love it. And yes, Jake will be there. Awesome. And that's super cool. For a minute there, I thought you said, and Stephen P. or Stephen and Jenna. You know, we would like to offer Jenna and Stephen an invite on New Year's Eve to come out to the aquarium and hang out with us because that would be really fun. But Jody, you're cool, so you can come too. But yep,
Dude,
you got to go to the Tennessee Aquarium at least once in your life, or otherwise
Jody
you'll
is
die miserable.
Jody is new to the family, but good Lord. I mean, she has spent some serious money just in the few streams I catch her at. She has bought more memberships than I don't know that anybody like Nancy B is another one. And who's another one that was doing that a lot? Although it was that was it Ross? I know there was a dude that
No,
was buying them I mean, just like crazy. I'm like, Jesus.
I tried to figure out how to do it, and I didn't know how to buy them, like extras.
It makes me, I mean, not, it doesn't make me feel bad, but it makes me feel a little bad because I'm like, man, I'm over here like a little kid. I'm not gonna give them my information, so I can't buy memberships or the premium YouTube or any of that stuff. And then there's people like Jody and Nancy that are just making it rain.
That's awesome, though. Where's Jody from? Is she from the South?
She said she was over by Matt and Mike, but what is Mike's channel's name? All Things Fish?
Oh, so she's an Iowa girl.
Yeah, yeah.
Kelly Foreman's from Iowa.
Hey, Melvin.
All my family is from Iowa, except, well, my sister and I aren't, and my brother. But my mom and dad met in Council Bluffs, Iowa. They both went to high school there and got married. But they went to two different high schools.
Oh, so it was just a random meeting then? It wasn't like high school sweethearts?
No, it was my mom's blind date for New Year's Eve canceled. So her cousin told her boyfriend, and who's now, well, was married to her, but she's dead. So, but Don's still alive. But asked Don to find my mom a date for New Year's to replace the guy that canceled last minute. And they found my dad, and it was love at first sight on New Year's Eve. Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty crazy. Oh yeah, Alexander Engelhardt. Remember him? I mean, he was dropping $100 gift. What do they call those things? The super chats. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, he has my record all time. I think he gave me a $200 super chat once. It's crazy.
Joey doesn't do it often, but I've seen him come in and drop $300. He did that for Susie. I felt so good for her. I just love Susie. She's such a good person. I wish there was a way, like how the Fish fam kind of came together and got Rico a laptop. Her laptop took a crap, and she doesn't have any money. I mean, I wish I had the money to just buy it for her, but I think there's going to have to be like an intervention or something.
That's a bummer.
It is a
I
bummer. I hate hearing that stuff, especially good people. If it was somebody else who will remain nameless.
well,
I'm just kidding. I don't really have any enemies here. So, but if it was some douchebag, figure it out, buddy. But good people that are struggling, it just.
my computer that I'm using right now is my second computer because the first one I left in the fish room all the time, and somehow the humidity got to the battery, made it swell all up, and bust out of the computer and destroyed the computer. But I was able to pay for this computer with my T-shirt sales from last year, I think. So, yeah, that was pretty awesome. I still have all the money from my sales at the Clash too. I was gonna go take that to the lady that makes my shirts and make a new shirt with the money I got from the Clash.
How'd you do at the Clash? Did you make money, or what? Did you kind of break even, or how did that turn out for you?
No, I made about, I think I made about $650. that's pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's the bummer was not doing all the stuff I used to do because I was at the booth a lot. But then I thought about it. I did have a lot of fun at the booth.
Yeah, and you weren't at the booth that much. I mean, you were, but I mean, it wasn't like you were locked down like you have been in the
Oh,
past.
well, yeah, it wasn't like a Aquashella booth where I'm
Or
stuck
even the
there
Clash.
for 10 hours straight.
The one year that my crystal came down, we saw you for like 5 minutes that whole weekend.
Well, I was aquascaping a lot that weekend, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you were always doing something. You,
Yeah,
you were
and
running
I
around
just
all over.
didn't. Yeah, and I just didn't do as much running as I normally do. But I still was able to take Oinky to the movies twice. We
That
went
week, that
on
same week, that year.
this year.
Yeah, this year.
We went with you went with us, didn't you?
Yep.
And Dennis and Chris and Rico and Oinky and me. We saw Deadpool, which was a fantastic movie. And then on Monday, while we were waiting to get into Dennis's place, and I didn't go into Dennis's place because they only allow one person. So uh, I got Dennis some pants, and then we went and saw a movie and waited to see when we could take the pants to him. And we saw that Joker movie, and it
Well,
was
that's
painful.
unfortunate.
It was. Wow. And Oinky saw it twice. She liked it.
Oh, Oinky, you disappoint me. One of the
Gosh,
rare
did
times.
you see it? Did you see
I,
it?
I watched a little bit of it, and I just didn't. I did not like it.
Oh my God. I was falling asleep through the whole thing.
Yeah, I think we rented it, pay per view kind of thing, and it was not good.
I don't know what they were thinking. Well, let's make a bad musical
Right.
and see if
You want to lose
superhero.
me in a hurry, turn it into a musical. Yeah.
And it wasn't even a good musical.
Is there such a thing?
Oh, I like the sound of music.
uh,
Ray, a glisten of from. Wait, a ribbon from the sun. Doe, a
Thanks,
female
Mike.
deer.
You're probably not here
Da,
anymore,
da, da,
but
da. It's been a while since I
thanks.
saw the movie.
Yeah, it's been like 40 years since I saw that.
Yeah, actually, it's been probably 25 or 30 for me. Used to be all they played at Christmas was that. When we had 3 channels on TV and you had to watch it like 3 times during the
Right,
Christmas
Stephen?
season.
I mean, I think people knew. Did you know it was a musical going
I
in? You kind
heard
of
it.
knew, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There were rumors that there was a lot
I
of
didn't
singing.
realize he was singing as much. I thought it was just going to be a couple songs by her, but I thought he had a horrific voice.
June. I'm not sure that qualifies.
I did not enjoy his voice.
I do not enjoy actors breaking character to sing. I'm done. I'm out.
The whole thing was just terrible. Sorry, Oinky. It was trash.
And honestly, everybody raved about the first one, and maybe the first one was pretty good. If it was standalone and I knew nothing else about anything, but I don't understand the timeline.
Well, yeah, it's a totally new writing,
But
of
that
the
was
Joker.
Bruce Wayne as a kid at the gate, and he's like
Yeah, that was weird.
45. I don't. That means when Bruce is, 15, 20 years later, when he first encounters the Joker's 70. I mean, what?
The whole thing's dumb. I wouldn't think
Yeah,
that much into
I
it.
just don't get it. I
But
mean, obviously he's at 70. I can do math better than that, but it's
they
still, he's an old man.
they really should have done it where he was taking over his empire, like becoming a crime lord
Right. Which happened
instead of this.
when Batman was in his prime,
Yeah, but
not when he
and
was
then
8 years
apparently
old.
the guy who kills him at the end becomes the real Joker. Did you see that?
I didn't. That must have been in the second one.
Yeah, in the second one, in the very last 5 minutes, spoiler, sorry, the dude kills him for being a puss, and then takes the knife he stabs him with and cuts his face so he's got his own face.
All right. Well, that explains the timeline then. And now it makes more sense. But even still, how old is this guy? Because
Oh no.
Bruce is still 8 years old or whatever he is. I don't know how old he was in that movie, but he was
Well,
young, very, very young.
yeah, Bruce
Babs,
is
what's going
about
on?
20
Hey,
years
Bob.
younger. Yeah.
You know Bob Taylor with a T, not a C. I know you know Bob C.
Uh, well, I've heard of Bob Taylor. But
He's
tell
not
me
your
about
friend?
Bob Taylor.
I don't know much about Bob Taylor. I know I've seen him in many, many live streams, and he seems to be a good dude.
Yeah, I've seen Bob Taylor. Hi, Bob
I
Taylor.
was waiting for you to say he's my friend.
Oh,
I set you up, and
here's
yeah.
my future friend. Sorry, Bob.
Sorry, Bob.
He likes to set me up to make people hate me.
No, it's all good. I'm opening up doors for future relationships.
Well, Bob Taylor, where are you from?
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself there, Bob Taylor. Everyone wants to be the Joker, wants to be the Joker. Another guy does the same thing and takes the name like 15 years later. Just wait for the musical Joker 3.
I don't think it's going to happen. They lost so much money on that one. So much money, and they can't even sell a toy from it. But yeah,
So he's from North Texas. And
North Texas,
what do you keep? What kind of
they got
fish you
some
keep,
good
Bob?
barbecue. Koi.
I see Bob
Oh no,
mostly.
Sweetie's in the koi.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Bob, but I see you mostly in Ohio Fish Rescue, right? So I assume, although not necessarily true, but I assume you're a big fish keeper, cichlids and whatnot. Well, not necessarily cichlids, but big fish. Denny says my favorite musical was the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's different. You're right. I can tolerate that one because it's fun.
How about the Rock? What's the one with Seymour and the plant?
Oh yeah, what is that one? I did watch that one several times too.
That
With
one had some music. It had
Feed
Steve
me,
Martin in it.
Seymour, feed me.
Yeah, it
And
had some
Grease.
music.
Yeah, what am I thinking? There's a
Oh,
few out
Grease is
there.
amazing.
And every Disney movie, I suppose.
What's your favorite
Hey,
Disney
Christine.
song? My favorite Disney song is that one from Aladdin, where Aladdin is singing one jump in front of the hitman, two steps in front of the flock. Da 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 da. I
I
love
don't know
that
that I
song.
could pick a favorite. I like a
I
lot of
also
them. Aladdin and Lion King were probably my two most watched. Tarzan was pretty good too. Because that
was
was the
Tarzan Disney.
what?
Was Tarzan Disney?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
earlier. Beauty and the Beast. Yep, that was another one because it was all within when my kids were little, or little enough to watch that stuff.
oh,
But they jumped
I
the
love
shark. Uh,
Bear's necessities is Mother's Nature's recipes.
yeah,
I love that
go
song
old school.
from Baloo. Yep. And what else? There's
Yeah, Jenna. Sounds like you both
uh,
actually love musicals.
I like from Beauty and the Beast Cast On song. Nobody beats Gaston. Nobody fights like Gaston. Nobody. Gaston. That guy was cool. Hi. We just
Somebody
like
must ask
ours
Babs out.
animated.
Little Shop of Horrors. Thank you, Jenna.
Good job.
Dee Dee says Grease is number one for her.
Grease
Christine,
is
I don't
the
know if you've
word.
heard me, but hello, hello. Oh yeah, and then the Melvin
Well,
got it too.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been to a lot. I used to go to all the Broadway shows when they would come to St. Louis. I enjoyed those. I just don't like my superhero singing.
So Bob says I live vicariously through OFR. History of mostly saltwater. So he's a saltwater guy.
Oh wow. I used to do a saltwater show that I wish we'd start doing again. I got to see what James is doing in 2025 and what Mike the Fish Tank Barn is doing.
Mike has been
Mike's
been around a lot more often. I've seen him in several different streams lately.
yeah, he's got two daughters, and when they were both into sports, he had no time. But maybe one is out of the house finally, or at least into college, and so he's only down to one. Maybe he's got more free time now.
I'm not a fan of the Phantom. I did see it with my daughter because she guilted me into it.
Yeah,
She
I
wanted to
never saw
spend
the.
time with her daddy, and I'm like, fine.
I've never seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, really? I don't.
Weird things about me.
I don't know if you would like it. It's a fun movie, but it's weird. It's out there, man.
Yeah, well, I like Jim Carrey,
He's not in that.
Jim Curry,
Tim Curry.
Jim Curry.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry,
The
I
funny
I
guy.
was again. I am not good at reading outside the box. If you said Jim Carrey, I didn't even pick that up. So, yeah, Tim Curry. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My bad. See,
Um,
my brain is half broke.
yeah. Well, clearly mine is too. Or I'm sure everybody else in chat was like screaming at me. And he means Tim Curry, and I'm like, I'm taking too many hits to the head. Jenna says, what about Sweeney Todd or Chicago? And I haven't seen either one of those.
I
Although Steven
saw
says Sweeney
Sweeney
Todd is
Todd
good.
on The Office when Andy played the one guy.
The Koi Pit's
Oh, I saw
here.
Ed on there.
Hey, buddy. Whip, who's your guest today? I just popped in. This is Chattanooga Ed. Chattanooga Ed is one of the coolest dudes in YouTube, and I am fortunate enough to have him as my guest. He does not, well, you have a couple stand-up ponds. Koi Pit had built himself, if anybody's interested, he built himself a great big pond.
Wow.
And the filtrations that he built for it is nothing short of spectacular. I mean, it's like NASA. If you guys want to see
Man,
how he built that thing, he's got like a I don't know how many parts was that, Koi? Was that 10, 15 parts of building that pond? It's very cool. Burlesque, nah. My wife liked it, but my wife likes all musicals, so that's not a good test. Yes, Zenny, that's what that
oh
one
my
is.
gosh. Okay, I'm not going to show like his video, but I'm just going to show what his homepage looks like. And it looks amazing.
Are
Here
you
you go.
sharing it with me? Oh yeah, there it is. Check that out, guys.
That looks like heaven. I could sit there all day long and just lay there next to the water flowing. Oh my gosh. Now where does Koi Pit live?
He said, and I don't remember. Koi Pit, if you're still here, let us know where you don't have to give us your
I see
address, but what
palms.
part
It
of the
looks like
state do you live in?
Let's
I'll
see if we
eventually
can
get
get
down there
any.
to it. Jenny, my
I don't
wife
want to
really
hit
likes
his
burlesque.
videos. I'm just
What?
trying to look at the trees behind him.
Yeah, everything about it is, top of the line.
Wow, that is awesome. I love that.
There you go, Bob. Benji said it for us. Welcome to the Fish Fan.
Yeah, that's awesome. Nice job, Benji. I'm gonna move this big piece of wood because it is driving me crazy. It's like right where my feet need to stretch out.
Yep. So Bob likes the saltwater because he loves his favorite fish is the emperor angel.
Oh,
Uh,
yep. It's one of my favorites too. I honestly, that's one of the ones that I quiz when I go into a new fish store and I see that. Was I talking?
yeah.
Okay, that's one of the fish that if I go into a brand new fish store, to me, not brand new, I'll ask them, will this fish work in this BioCube? And if they say yes, I know that I don't want to do business with them because I want honest fish owners selling me fish.
There you go, Ty. If you want to check him out, he's been around a while. He's done a lot of things, seen a lot of people. Plus, he's just a good dude.
Yeah, that's super. Oh, and I'm going to subscribe right now.
Nancy, there's nothing wrong with Jim Carrey. Just got my youngest hooked on Ace Ventura.
Oh man, Ace Ventura is great.
Mamma Mia, that's another one my wife loves. I've seen that about 1,000 times in passing because it's on all the time. There you go.
Love
Nancy
seeing.
B, she wants you to go OFR. Just turn your pool into a koi pond, Ed.
Yeah, I don't think so. I grew up and my dad let me dig a koi pond in our backyard in Kansas City, and it was nothing beautiful like this one. It was probably 6 foot by 4 foot, and then it went about 5 feet down. So it was almost like a Christmas tree going straight down. But then we had like little. My dad, when we concreted it in, he put like cliffs on it for the fish to hide on, or to put a air stone on and stuff like that. And we just left them in there year round in Kansas City. And I would get the little, at the time it was a quarter for a fancy fantail guppy, fantail goldfish, and we would drop them in there and they would grow out to the size of a softball in a year outside. And then
Right.
we'd trade them in and I would get like $50 in store credit every time. It was awesome.
We never traded them in, but we used to do that. We had a rain bucket, like one of those big 55-gallon drum things
Mhm.
that the rain off the roof would go into. And
Nice.
we'd throw goldfish in there, and they would just get enormous in there. And
Well,
everybody's always like, "Oh, that's not, you're picking up all the toxins off the roof and everything." And I'm like, "Well, I don't think they
they
cared."
lived.
Yeah, the koi
Yeah, I
pit,
mean,
the koi pit is Thai, yes, and he is the sweetest guy you will ever meet. I don't know about that. Ed's pretty sweet. Look at that
aw,
face. Look at that face.
you're so full of it. It's just because I eat a lot of candy,
Not what I'm
way too
drinking.
much. Well, and I'm drinking some cherry Pepsi too.
Steve, I think it's,
Mm.
just airborne stuff that people throw out there, like when you live in a neighborhood more so than out in the country where people are spraying pesticides into their trees to keep the fruit from getting mauled by the bugs, and God only knows what else is, the if you're burning stuff, that stuff settles on your roof all the time. I think that's what they're talking about, but honestly, that's just me guessing. That could be anything really.
Then that's my favorite drink. My favorite drink in the world.
I can't
Even
drink
though
any of that stuff. You guys are killing me with your sugary sugar.
I also really like this stuff called Breeze iced tea. Is it or Brisk
Brisk.
iced tea,
That's
but
brisk,
it's
baby.
orange. Is it orange blood or red orange blood or blood orange red? Blood orange red, I think. Something like that. It's amazing. Normally I hate flavored teas, but this tastes just like the orange drink from McDonald's with caffeine.
Nice.
And it's always sold out.
The
So I don't
problem
know
the
if
problem is that even non-diabetics will go into like a diabetic coma a little bit after drinking it. Because the sugar
it's
is
awesome.
insane in those iced teas in the brisk.
Well, I love it. And I think it's a big Mexican favorite because we have a lot of Mexicans that have settled in my town, and that is the one flavor that's sold out everywhere. And it's like, why don't they get rid of all the other crappy flavored teas that nobody else likes and just give me my blood orange tea,
Blood orange red.
like
And
double
blood
down.
orange is an actual orange.
Yeah, it's awesome. But it's also a tea. And I think it gets
Well, they must
gobbled
be
up.
mixing it. They're mixing it with the orange. So it's like you know how like that Paul Newman half tea, half whatever they were selling, or probably still are.
I don't know if it has any juice in it for real.
So They're,
Oh,
they're
here's one.
they're extracting the flavor out of there somewhere. I'm curious because if it gets the 500-gallon stock pond, oh yeah, I'm curious because if I get the 500-gallon stock pond from my dad, where I put it might allow for a roof runoff. Stephen, it's definitely possible. I know the pond guy out here that, he's putting in $1 million setups. They use roof runoff all the time, but it does go through a filter. They do run it through a filter of some kind. Now, I don't know. I don't think they're using charcoal or anything like that. I think it's just basically to pull any particulates out. So I really don't know how much validity there is in the chemical or the toxics in any water coming off the roof. I don't know that I would drink it. So that right there tells you there's there's stuff in there. But
When I
um,
lived in Missouri, I would have eagles fly and sit on my roof, and they would poop giant poops on my roof.
oh, there's that too. And there's always a lot of poop up there. Squirrel poop and bird poop of all kinds.
I never had any squirrels there. I think between the hawks and the eagles, the squirrels didn't stand a chance.
I get squirrels up on my roof all the time. They run across there. You know how that they have that little gallop that
Mhm.
I can hear them going across. When I first heard it the very first time, I thought they were in the attic. I'm like, what the hell? I'm up there with my trap and everything. Oh, they're not up here. They're on the roof. Never mind.
In in Illinois, I had a house that had two walnut trees behind it. So I had lots of squirrels. And my next door neighbor, she tried to tell me that one of the walnut trees was on her property. And it was literally between my garage and my house. And it was like, what's your property like coming a big triangle? And I said, don't worry, you can get as many nuts as you want. And then she was happy. But his squirrels they'd eat the nuts at my house, but go to her house and chew on her wood on her house. And so all of her siding and stuff was all chewed up from the squirrels. It made me feel good.
So Melvin said, Ed, it'd be cool if you did a garden railroad, having a train run through your garden.
Oh wow.
I don't
I
know how
don't
that would
know.
work in the rain because you get a lot of rain.
Yeah, we get about 70 inches of rain a year here, so it'd be tough to do here. I have a hard time just growing rhubarb here because of all the rain.
GRB says iced tea never got popular in Australia, but iced coffee, wow, super popular. Yeah, that's ridiculous here too. I don't know how people drink it, but if you like it, you like it, right? Same with Nathan. I can't stand Mountain Dew, but my daughter and my wife, there was a time when I think they would have taken the life of a small child just to get a taste. Dr. Pepper. Oh, Diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh,
Yeah.
does
Anything
she like
diet,
Diet
I'm out.
Dr. Pepper?
It may be more than the real thing, but it isn't the real thing, and I can absolutely tell. So I would go no, or
I
not as good.
Hey, Diet Dr. Pepper. I've got to buy a case of it for Rob, my fish store owner, because I give him a case every Christmas, and I just wasn't able to get there this year because we did Christmas early. But I'll try to get over there maybe tomorrow. And I hate it. It tastes like you can taste the thinness. I want syrup in my drink.
Dee Dee was gonna have no. Let me start over. Tony was gonna dig Dee Dee a pond, but she's worried about the water moccasins since she's so close to the swamp, and it's too much work. You're better off. I mean, I know it costs a fortune. Look, I know this is third world problems, but or first world problems, but if you can save up 20-25 grand, you could get Aquascape or whatever their certified contractor is near you. They'll come in and in a week you'll have a pond, and you don't have to do hardly crap to it. You have to clean out the filter once in a while and add chemicals. There's a dosing system that they suggest you use that keeps the hair algae down. And other than that, I mean, it's just regular pulling the leaves when they go into the skimmer or the what is that called? I forget what it's called, but there's like if you have a bigger unit, it kind of drains into a shallow area and then into a holding tank and then gets redistributed. And that's where all your
Your
debris.
sump?
Yeah, kind of like a sump. Yep, almost exactly like a sump, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, if I could save $25,000, I'd probably just buy a car.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I understand. It's definitely
I
if
have
you're
to build my
struggling
own
with
pond.
money, yeah, probably not something you should spend your money on if you're struggling.
Yeah, they've got some really neat. What's that guy's name? I've been to his place a couple of times.
It's
Ah,
it's Greg Whitstock,
yes,
and
Woodstock.
then his two main guys are Ed Ballou and Brian. Oh, I forget Brian's name. Brian something. And those are his two longest employees, and I mean, they just do fantastic work. And Atlantis Water Garden out in New York is one of their top guys. And if you want it down in Tennessee, the east side of Tennessee, I think over by Knoxville, modern design, unbelievable stuff that they can put together. But
Well, one of my good friends has one of their ponds. Rack Cross, he has one of their ponds, and it is amazing. Video does not do it justice. He wanted a pond that was had a gradual waterfall because most birds don't drink from bird feeders; they drink from running water, and so he wanted a trickling, waterfall so the birds would go and drink from it.
I
It's
just read
amazing.
that. I've had it highlighted for a minute. So yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just squirrel.
Okay, but yeah, so Barak Cross is a beautiful one of their ponds.
I need to see it. I would imagine he's got it somewhere on his channel. But to answer that question, Stephen, yeah, I probably drink the stuff off my roof. You're not wrong. I haven't drank my sink water, my tap water, in 20 years. I will not do it.
That's all I do is drink tons of tap water.
We
Give
go
me the
through
tap
cases
water.
and cases and cases of water here.
Oh, what's DD jinxing?
Nathan, not yet. I'm
Oh, looks like
surprised.
Bob's leaving.
Oh yeah, there. No, he's not. Say he's not. Oh God, I'm so far behind.
Happy New Year's, Bob.
See you later. Have a happy New Year. I hope to see you back again.
For sure. Let's do some quick fish questions so the fish people won't stop coming.
Yeah, well, he's saltwater, so I don't know that we had anything to offer anyway. But yeah, I drink mostly water, but lately have been nice, healthy Red Bull. Oh my God. I can't stop my blood sugar from going up over 180 to 200 every morning without eating or drinking anything. I can only imagine what would happen if I put one of those in my body.
I do not like Red Bull at all. If I had a Jaeger bomb, the Red Bull grosses me out.
Really?
Yep. Just give me the Jaeger.
Did you see any fish questions? Because I'm not really seeing any.
I haven't, but I can make some up.
All
Nathan
right.
would like to know, what is your favorite native fish from Illinois?
The bluegill.
Good one. And Cat House would like to know, if you had a cat that got along with a dog, what type of dog would it be? Oh, that wasn't a fish question. All I could think was cats and dogs when I think of his name. Barbara would like to know, what is your favorite red fish?
My favorite red, full on red fish was my red Texas. That thing was gorgeous.
And Jody would like to know, what fish did you grow the largest? Like from baby to full size. What was the max size it got to?
The largest fish I ever growed was in a silver arowana that I grew out from 3 inches to just short of 29 inches.
Hoy Farm would like to know, if you had a gift card for Christmas for any fish, what type of fish thing would you get? Would you get a fish, or would you get like supplies for the fish room?
I think at this point in my life, I would get supplies.
Oh, let's see. Let me see if I can make something out of Zin's thing. What is the most useless fish you've ever had in your fish room?
Guppies.
Oh, we're done with these questions.
No, and that was my fault. It's my fault that they turned that way. But I bought 2 males and 4 female blue Moscow. Never culled them. Never did anything with them, and they basically reverted back to wild type. And I bet you there's got to be 1,000 of them in there.
Have you ever had a common
Jody said
pleco?
she'd take them today, but I don't know what she knew what she was agreeing to. Say that again?
That was fun. Have you ever had a common pleco?
Yes.
The ultimate poop machine. Is that what you're looking for right now, actually?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I thought you were looking for a catfish that could get big enough not to be eaten.
Yes, but it doesn't have to be a common. I might get They're very similar. I'm not naive enough to I understand that they're very similar, but what I would like to get is an albino sailfin,
Oh, nice.
which
Now,
are basically common, but I don't think they get as big.
okay, what is your opinions of a blue-eyed pleco?
I have no opinion on a blue-eyed pleco. I don't even
Costs
know
like a
what a
bajillion
pleco is.
dollars, and they look just like a common pleco to me, except they got blue eyes. I don't get it. Can somebody inform me why blue-eyed plecos are so much better than common plecos?
Well, let's look it up, shall we? It does look a lot like a common with blue eyes.
Except it costs like 100 times more.
Yeah, $230 right here, $399.
It's crazy.
Adult
People
gets to
really like those
24
blue
inches.
eyes.
They're basically common plecos with blue eyes. They don't have they have a little bit of a more sloped face too. Commons don't have like a this almost looks like a ski jump.
When I go into a pet store, people like the fish store owners like to like say, "Hey, come here! I got to show you what I just got in. It's so awesome!" And one of them drugged me back. And he's like, "It's a blue-eyed pleco," and it was like $300. And I was like, "Wow, that's really neat." I
Yeah.
don't get it. Wouldn't you rather
Yeah.
have a phantom pleco?
I would rather have the stuff that Kenny has, and I apologize, I don't know the names of them off the top of my head, but um, those ones with they're like white with the black pattern on them.
Super whites.
Yeah, super whites, but what are they? They're like 333s or something.
Oh gosh.
I don't
Oh.
know. It doesn't matter because I will never. You can tell me anything, and I'll be okay.
Well, the 303, I think, is the watermelon pleco, but I'm not for sure. 30, whoops,
What, Kenny?
L303.
I thought we were friends. She doesn't like albino plecos.
No, this is the L303.
333. Three threes.
333. Okay.
Fish nerd. What's going on, bud?
Yes.
What
The
fish?
king tiger pleco
King tiger. That's it.
or the white or yellow stripes. That didn't really make sense, but
I
that's a
like that.
beautiful fish. But does it get big? Does it get bigger
Yeah,
than 6 inches?
I don't know if it gets big enough to be in with my big boys. So I don't get Plecos end statement. Okay.
Yep. They don't get bigger than 6 inches.
Yeah, see, that would have to go into my small South American tank. So, which is fine.
Why don't you go with a watermelon pleco? They're big and beautiful and awesome.
They get almost too big. Watermelon
Yeah,
Plecos
but
get enormous.
yeah, there's a couple different types though. I don't think you have to get the Crown Royal or whatever
What
it's
is
called.
that? We all of a sudden we've got Pleco hate going on here.
Hey, I'm not a pleco guy either. I think they're poop machines.
They are. I have one, and I know you'll be all shocked to hear, but it's an L47 because 47 is my number. That's why I bought it, and it's either a mango. I think it has two common names, but one of them is mango, and it gets big enough to live with the Oscars and stuff. It isn't yet, but it didn't get 8, so I left them in there. And they're not terribly they're a little expensive, but they weren't horrible. I think it was like 40, 50 bucks. Yeah. Plus it was black and gold. So it was black and gold
Makes sense.
and it was number 47. So
The gold nugget would have been so much cooler because it would have had the gold nuggets or dots all over it.
But it's not 47. And
Gotcha.
47 is my number, buddy.
Yep, and it is your color, so that makes sense.
That was
That's pretty
Bubba's
cool.
football number back in the day.
Mine was 75. Do they have a L75?
Mine was 25. 42 my freshman year, and then once I got 25, I stuck with that the rest of my life.
In hockey, I was really weird. Every season I changed my number. I never but in football I was always 50 until I got too big for 50s and then I went to 75s.
DJ Guppy was here for a minute. Everybody, wet hands, lots to do. Excellent 2025, everybody.
Ooh. The L75 is a pretty cool looking one.
Oh yeah, that looks like my Jaguar catfish.
Well, I have two types of plecos. I have one bristlenose big boy, and he's all by himself. And then I've got a bunch of micro plecos that I forgot their number. But they're little black guys. They only get this big, and they have little black dots, and they eat meat.
Nice.
So I have to feed them frozen brine shrimp and fish pellets every day.
Fish Nerd has a question. What fish that you really wanted did you realize was a waste of tank space after you got it?
This is a lot of fish.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot, like most of them. Nothing
Like
nothing
so
jumps
many.
to my mind though. But there's again, and I know you'll hate me for it, but guppies, I just cannot love them like you do. They're so
Bully
boring.
loaches. Oh,
They don't take any
bumblebee
instincts up there.
catfish. Bumblebee catfish.
Oh, I love how they look. You never see them. Ever. I've had 3 of them in that tank right there. I have not seen them except for the one time I pulled everything out of the tank to do a deep clean on it. So once in
Yeah,
the last like 6, 7, 8 years.
they don't even grow big enough to like outgrow their ability to hide. You know, they
They
always
get
stay
bigger than you
small.
think, but they don't get huge, right? I mean, I think mine are about that big last time I saw them.
Yeah, they're like my giant Synodontis. He's over a foot, so now you see him. He can't hide.
Right,
You know,
right.
but when he was this big, I never saw him for about a year or two, and then I was almost wondering if he was dead.
Both species of Raphael cat. I have the striped and the spotted. Never see them. You know what? The last time I saw my striped Raphael, when I started my water change and walked away, and I emptied the tank, and I came back, and I'm like, holy shit! There's no water in that tank at all. There's nothing in there, and their fish are all like, hey, buddy, forget something. And the catfish had come out of out of his cave like, hey, you can hear him.
And he probably,
you know, what's going on? What happened?
well, I can't say the Raphaels have ever been a bad purchase because I've always got them to clean up after really messy fish. Like, and I don't know if the discus were really messy or just I made my own discus food and it was really messy. And so they would clean up all the trimmings on the bottom. And they did a wonderful job, and they got too big for their spots, and one got stuck in a log, and his body was stuck. His tail was hanging out, but the rest of his body was wedged in there. And that's when I learned that they made little barking noises because I had to break him out to get him
You know
out.
what else they do? If you're not paying attention, because I don't use a net when I'm catching catfish because they always get hung up in the. I pick my Raphael up with my fingers,
Wow.
and they have scissor like
Scales?
dorsal fin. They
Oh,
clamp the dorsal fin in like a scissor. Guess what? It's sharp enough to cut you.
well, they're scales, though. Did you feel their little body? Their
Yeah,
body feels like little sharp pins.
yeah. They
They're
almost have an exoskeleton.
they're a weird ass fish. They are a defensive machine.
Renium. We just he showed up. Like, I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on, buddy?
Hey there. Yeah, it's awesome to see him. Our favorite element.
Babs thinks plecos are awesome. So we got one pleco lover in here on my side.
Well, I mean, I like making the plecos. I don't have any with me right now. I like making artificial plecos.
Down
Oh
with
wait, maybe I
plecos, up with eggnog. Oh my God, she double whammy. Doesn't like the cool fish and likes a bowl of snot.
I thought I had a little pleco, but I don't. I have a koi. That I'm working on for Rack Cross. That now that I can see it again, I can start working on it again.
Hey, yeah. Um, yeah, I probably won't be able to show you mine either there, Stephen. I have two or three. No, I think I only have two. I had a big die off after a water change. I know that's shocking as well. And I think a couple of them died, but I had three longfin albinos. They are very pretty. I concur, but I don't currently see one in there. And Miss Foxy sold me a chocolate bristle nose that is still in there somewhere, but I haven't seen that thing in other than its tail hanging out of the rock.
We should have started
So
working
Jody
on.
says she's got four
Yeah,
11s and 136 Bs. That doesn't help me. I don't know those.
Matt, I should have been working on that this whole hour. I could have started that over. I made
Uh,
a goldfish for Matt's wife, and my mom came into this room to help clean because
oh,
she didn't like how unorganized I was. And I used to keep 5-gallon buckets in here with stuff like PVC pipes and stuff or tools. And she took all of my things I was working on off the table and put it in there. And then she started putting wrenches and stuff in it, just breaking everything in it. She had no idea that everything was so breakable. It's like,
come
so
on,
I've
mom.
got to,
Put a
yeah,
lock on
it's
the door.
being nice. I tell you, and she does it like when I go out of town. She wants to do something nice for me when I'm gone.
Lock the door.
Well, they got to come down here and feed the cats.
Well, like, keep them out of that room.
Yeah, well, we'll figure out something.
Yeah, right. I
I
mean,
don't
there's
think
got to
she'll
get.
ever do it again. I was pretty upset. I was pretty
Okay.
upset. I don't think she'll ever come
It's
back
hard for
to this
me seeing
room.
you get upset. So I guess okay.
Well, I didn't scream or anything, but I was like, "Mom, you broke everything in my room," and she just didn't believe me. And then I like brought it up and showed her, and she's like, "Oh." I
Sorry.
was like, "My craft room, I know where everything is, and when you move everything and then break it, it really doesn't help me."
No, that does not please me. So Zenny says
But I
she's got the 046. I know what that is, and I can't remember what. But I know I've seen that many times. What's the
oh
046?
46.
Yeah. Is that the gold nugget?
You,
What is that?
here, you know what? We've just haven't done a show in such a long time on the L
Zebra.
O.
It's the
Oh,
zebra.
okay.
Sorry, I beat
Yeah.
you to it.
Zenny
Born in
has a bunch of
47
them.
is
They're
my
just not in her
number.
state.
Born in 94. Hey, that's why I like you, Denny.
Wow, you
What?
and Dennis are born in the same year.
Yeah.
Dennis is awesome.
How old are we, Dennis?
47. So that would be 53. And then 24 on
That puts
top of
him,
that.
that puts him
So,
right around 75, 76, right?
yeah, or 74 and 75. So he's almost my number.
I also have a 128. That's the Blue Phantom. I don't know which one I like better. I think I like the blue better than the green, but I'm not, man, I'm wishy-washy on that.
You see, and I would like to do an outdoor tubbing of phantoms and see if I can get phantoms to breed over the summer. And then the thing is, though, is I've got to convert one of my tubs into a phantom tub in the breeding room. And that's the thing I don't like to do. Did Ed say he was 75 years old? Is my math that bad?
You basically did. I mean, you said he's my number.
47 from. All right, we'll just do the math on my telephone because my math on the telephone is normally right. Okay. 53.
You are far from being bored in 47. I know that for sure.
77. Okay. Well, nuts. You're not my number anymore, Dennis.
Mike Common is so big, he basically has rose thorns sticking out of him. No shit. That's amazing. I love it when they get that big. If you have the right space for them, I mean, I just love it when you see a fish full grown, just in its full glory. The reason when you asked me about native fish, I don't know if you've seen a bullhead that is like a mature, just a big, boofy male, but they are awesome. They remind me of that weird goat that's on your foxy whatever you call those things. Why can't I think what those are called?
I have
You know,
no idea.
your quick commercial kind of things. Public, you know, your quickies that show somebody getting run over by a tractor or something.
Here we go. Here's a good one. I'll share it.
Will you?
It's awesome being the tech genius on the show.
You're right. That ain't it. That's a bullhead.
Well, I was actually going to ask you about a bullhead, but you said guppy, so I ended it because Steven said something about starting his day with a Red Bull. So I was going to say, what's your favorite Red Bull or your favorite bullhead? But it was like, no, I got to twist that so it sounds better. And then I was going to, try to twist it like, would you ever own a bullhead?
Oh, I have owned bullhead.
That used to be the only fish I could catch when I was a kid. Used to catch lots of bullheads in Kansas City in our creek, but they weren't that fat.
See, that's not true. There are a bunch of little ones. There's a bunch of little tiny plecos that you can get. The clown loaches are clown loach, dumbass. The clown pleco is, what, this big?
Oh my God. Well, I've got ones that are only 2 inches.
Yeah, they're tiny, tiny. And there's more than just that. I don't keep them, so I don't know them all. But what is this? Melissa's goldfish. How about Melissa's goldfish? I don't know where that was going.
That's the goldfish I was talking about that my mom broke.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
I might have pieces of it here somewhere.
And then I don't know if you still have your headphones on, but Nathan's asking, do you like making the pleco caves?
Oh yeah, I love making things. It's not that I hate plecos. I just don't like how they poop.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. And if you have to have I mean, you don't have to have anything, but usually people who have one bristle nose have 10 of them. And then they have 100 because they breed. Uh, and man, the poop is unbelievable.
Yeah,
And
I
I
mean, and it's
remember,
the same way with goldfish. Goldfish are pooping machines too.
yep. But man, I had like a 18-inch pleco, common pleco back in the day, and man, it would have a string of poop hanging off of it that was 24 inches long. I'm like, good lord.
They poop more than they eat. I don't understand how they do it. I don't. That's also why I don't have any turtles, because turtles are pooping machines.
Small deli cups. That would probably have been the smart thing to do, but I used my hands. I did the same thing for my Jaguar. I don't know how many people caught that show. I don't remember if I was on my show or yours, but I caught my to move my 150. I had to catch my Jaguar out, put him in a big garbage can overnight, and when I moved him back, I measured him real quick. So I know he's right at 14 inches, and I just use my hands for him too. Because man, sometimes those nets really beat the crap out of them.
Yeah. I hate catching my petricolas in a net, but it's like either I don't have another choice for those babies, and then I have to wiggle their little faces around sometimes to get them out. It sucks.
Oh, Nathan, that was a little dig on you because his his tank is so empty without a pleco cave. He's waiting for
Oh,
you to
I'm
get your
sorry.
Etsy going. Get your Etsy
Yes,
going.
I was just talking about that again last night
Yeah, you
with my
were.
family.
Oh, I
Well,
thought you
with
meant
my
on your.
family about it.
Yeah. Hey, Foxy's here. Hi, Foxanne.
Big Steve just said something about how he likes to lay in bed at night, but I have to put my glasses on to read it. Oh, you just popped it.
I did. I skipped ahead, guys. So if you had something further up, say it again because I was too far behind.
Was that his Phantom Pleco or
He didn't say.
ball python?
Oh,
Pooping, I guess. Was it pooping?
yeah. Dropping a deuce is taking a dump. Yeah.
Hmm. Well, that's very interesting. The grossest thing I ever saw was, well, no, it's not the grossest thing I ever saw, but a gross thing I saw once in my life. I was at an alligator farm down in Florida because I love going to those. And this guy had a python in his back, and the python pooped down him, and it was like a big white, it looked like a big white meatball, and it like came out and then rolled down his body because it had like enough sticktality that it stuck to his body all the way down his body until it hit the floor. It's like all I can remember from that trip. So you want to?
Foxy said when I had a common pleco, her poop would wrap around the 55-gallon twice, and she she was still going. I believe it. Those things, man. Oh my God, there was some serious poop going on in there, and I
Is
had
she talking
mine.
about the fish or her?
No, the fish.
Oh, I thought maybe she was so excited she couldn't like leave the fish.
Ed, you can make fun of anybody else in here, but leave Foxy alone.
That'd be so gross.
And Zenny, don't mess with Zenny.
Oh my gosh. If I can't mess with Zenny, I might as well just quit.
No. Okay, a little bit, a little bit. There was somebody firing me up yesterday. I was like, I will come to your house. You guys are hurting my ears when you are talking about plecos. I have so many different types, and they are so cute and wonderful, and really don't make a mess of the tanks. That's Shady. Shady Grady
Yeah, but
is going, but are they the big ones? Are
Shady's
you
a
talking about
professional.
the big commons and the ones that do crap a ton? I don't think I ever saw, and maybe somebody with more experience with it. But the clown pleco, I don't remember any poop, stringing from plant to plant from it. But the common one, and I was just going to say back in the day before I knew any better, just basically a 20-year-old kid throwing fish in a fish tank. I had two of them at 18 inches in a 55. Because back in the day, 55, that was a big fish tank, man.
That was. I remember I got a 55. Well, I used the money that I got from my graduation money and got a 55-gallon fish tank. And I thought, man, I got a huge tank.
Yeah, and now I hate them.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I've got two of them, and I kind of actually really enjoy both of them. The fish that are in there are really cool.
I just don't like the hate's too strong a word. They're too shallow. They're not, 12 inches is not enough. Um, unless you're like you live bearers probably have no issues with a 12-inch front to back tank. But man, when you're keeping fish, even my silver dollars are like 6 inches long. So I can't have some 12-inch tank.
Yeah, I keep Gadeids in one and my mollies that I got from Florida in the other, my native mollies. And they are just doing great. That's Nathan from Sand Creek Aquatics fish tank. When I got it, I was like, oh man, a 55. Because 75s are just so much, they're the same size, just a bigger, that extra six
Right.
inches really goes the distance.
You can escape them easier. I mean, just everything about them is better. So Cecil says my comment is not too bad about the poop, and he is a little over 12 inches. Well, maybe I just had a poopy one. I don't know. I just remember going, holy God, that is that's impressive.
I think I made Foxy so upset she left.
Jason H.
Or maybe Foxy's just pooping around one of her fish tanks right now.
Maybe. I've also got a couple 29-gallon tanks overrun with guppies and endlers. If anybody wants some, come get them. Yep. Well, you'd first have to tell us where you live, and then I'm still not coming because I don't want any more guppies. I'm trying to get rid of the ones I got.
I don't need any guppies, but I'd still love to hear where Jason's from. Let's see. I'm going to say, since his name's Jason H., he lives in New Hampshire.
Ah, I see what you did there. And Babs, of course you should. You should record it.
Or
You should take
Hawaii.
pictures. Wi-Fi.
YFI.
Wi-Fi. I don't know what that means, Jason. I'm old. I don't know the vernacular. Did
Maybe
Jesse come back? Hey, Jesse came back. Hey, Jess, what's going on, buddy?
Wi-Fi.
The invasion of Clown Pleco. Nathan was like, I'm going to say the same thing. New Hampshire.
Oh, nice.
But that's not. We have no confirmation on that. Yes. I have a 29-gallon and a 20-gallon that I use as a quarantine tank, and a 35-gallon that is also just because I didn't want to put Foxy's fish in jeopardy by putting them in my water. I put them in the one tank that doesn't have my water in it. It's got store-bought spring RO water, and I figured that it'd be Oh.
You know what? I buy RO water from
Oh.
Walmart because it's easier than making it myself.
Wi-Fi that was the guy. Remember, there was a dude that was named Wi-Fi. He just changed his name.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Wi-Fi changed his
Yeah,
name.
yeah. Now I remember that now. Sorry. Sometimes I made a little help.
And I don't, all I do is hurt him. I don't add to any bonuses to him.
Is this a whole new channel, or did you just rename it, Jason? Because I may not be sub to you anymore. I'll have to go back on the replay and do the old visit the channel. Unless one of the mods want to put it in there, that's cool too.
Let's see.
I never see my clown Pleco. The only way I know he's still living in there is that I see his tail where he hides all the time. Yeah, I have several fish like that. We're going to go another 14 minutes, Ed, and then I'm going to hang up and go to bed because I am running down. Okay, so he just changed his name. So I should still be sub to you, but I will double check when I get off here. Well, hell,
Oh,
I got the phone right here. I got the phone right here. I could just try it right here.
there's a Jason H that's really into paintball.
That ain't him.
Yeah, but his stuff looks exciting. Here's somebody that's called not Jason H. Let's see.
Oh crap.
Okay, now I'm sharing it.
Okay, good, because apparently I'm not a
So,
mod in my own channel, so I can't even click on his name and go look.
oh no, I can only present it on screen.
Oh.
Okay, this is the paintball guy. This is the not Jason H. That's Jason Hill. Jason Gaming. Let's see, what does Jason H. What does Wi-Fi symbol look like?
Just there. Dee Dee dropped his link. Somebody can click on that. Yeah, I'm still subbed. It's Wi-Fi
going to go.
Jason the Carpet Slayer. If you see the Carpet Slayer, that's him.
Oh, whoops, I'm still on. Let me stop. Well, here, I'll just go right here and do it. There we go. And I'm still subscribed and my bell is rang.
Yeah.
So good deal. Oh, I was about to hit one of his videos, but he might get mad if we show one of his videos on live.
Well, isn't that the whole point of YouTube?
But it is Secret Santa.
Oh.
Why? Wait a minute.
Just even the big hoax that YouTube unsubs people. Maybe it's
It
just
was.
because I didn't want to be sub to you. That's why.
I thought I was presenting him, but I think I was presenting us.
Mm-hmm. He was.
Share screen.
Because I saw me twice.
Here he is.
DJ still listening and lurking and still have a bunch of water changes to go. I can't be over. You can't be over. You can't be over. I got to be over, bud. I am. Oh.
There he is.
There he is.
People didn't know that he is trying to go for the record of being the only man to wear a onesie for 5 years straight. Is it always the same onesie, Jason, or do you change it in the morning?
He hasn't
I'm
washed while he's
sorry.
in the shower.
Dude, that's what Charles Barkley said he did. Is he would wash his clothes in the shower when he was on the road doing basketball. He would just take a shower and just put soap on his shirts and stuff.
It's all or nothing.
That's
It looks
awesome.
like it looked like, but I cannot confirm nor deny.
Let's see,
I
there we
even
go.
wear it to kayaking to freak people out.
Oh
Thanks,
man, I
thanks,
miss
DJ.
camping or canoeing and kayaking and things like that.
Well, I know I said 15, but I think Adele just went hot. If anybody wants to go over there, feel free. I see that my numbers are dropping, so maybe I don't know if I'm stepping on somebody else's toes. Normally, I'm off by 4. If you guys need to take off, don't feel bad about leaving. It's all good. I'm way over my scheduled time.
Nico's been here the whole time. He's just been off the screen.
Not the whole time, because
Well, not the whole
you
time.
announced early on that neither cat was there.
Yeah, but that was in the morning part
No,
when they were still in bed.
nothing cleaner than wet underwear. That is the truth. Also,
Unless,
nothing more uncomfortable.
yeah, it's pretty horrible. I got the worst underwear burn. Have you ever worn your underwear on a really hot day at a park?
Swamp
I went
ass?
to
Yeah.
Disneyland when I was like 12, and I don't know what the deal with my underwear was that day, but oh my gosh, I rubbed my insides of my legs terrible.
Yep. It ain't good. So, are you streaming tomorrow at all?
Nope. I'll be on, well, not on, but I'll watch Kenny and Danny's last episode.
Yeah. Everybody remember that Danny and Kenny, Danikin Aquatics, they're doing their last live, not just of the year, but they're going to probably hang it up for the most part. They did say that they might, pop in here and there, especially on the members only. Although they can't do members only anymore, can they?
Yeah, he said members only, but he got rid of the members only.
Yeah, so that's not going to work. But anyway,
Maybe he meant fans only
could be
or only fans.
only fans. Yeah, that's not something I need to watch.
It's
Oh,
not
Jason said,
Kenny.
and I won that German fish food last year. Where can I get more of it?
Oh, uh, gosh, where is it? Where is it?
It's hard to
I think
read
it's
because it's
Sabu's.
German.
I think it's Sabu's. Sabu sells it, and he'll have it at the Aquatic Expo in a month from now. But I think, do you know what Sabu's channel or
I
store
have
name
no
is?
idea. I wish I could tell you. I know him. I've talked to him many times, but I don't know his channel.
I'm a horrible spokesman for him. I'm just pathetic. I need to get this stuff down. But I bought a canister of it. I bought a great big one from him, and at the Clash, and I thought it was in here, but it's not. And I need to
There,
get it in my fish room because I'm out of those pellets.
it's
But
right there.
who asked?
Cat House gave it to it. It's Subarai. I don't know how to you say it, but it's Saburai Aquatics. And there, Zenny
Let's
put
see if
it as a link.
let's see. I'll share it, and we'll see if he has it real quick on his website. Let's see. Dried goods.
I'm being held captive here, people.
what's this thing? I got to get rid of that. Shop,
Ooh,
dry
that's pretty.
goods. There it is. I think is this. Who was it that won it?
Was that no? I forgot. Was it Jason? It was Jason.
Yeah. So I get this. Let's see which one. I get the shrimp pellets for those one guys. Of course, I can. Oh, here it is. I think this is the ones I get. I don't know. I don't think that's it. Here it is. The shrimp sticks. This is what I get from him, and it is awesome.
Well, there you go. And then Jenny buys the anti-monkey butt powder for swamp ass. So now you know what to get next time you get that to happen.
Yeah. Well, I wear like those. Now I wear those like briefs that Michael Jordan told me to buy, and I never have that problem.
Jody, I for a minute there, it went over my head because we're mostly fish, and I was thinking you were cycling your tank with that, and I'm like, what? But no, I get it now. I get it. I get it. DJ Ed Whip, all the best next year. Later, everybody, every fish. May 2025 be the best year ever. B Wood, Moulin Rouge was a great music. He's coming in late. Coming in
Never
late with
thought.
a with a musical.
He's starting from the beginning.
Yeah.
And Nico's like, I don't know if you can see him, but he's been laying on the keyboard. Here,
I
there
just
he
see
is.
whatever that pile of goo is right there.
This is my cup.
Oh, it's your cup. That looked like a plate with some goo on it.
Yeah, Nico's been like laying
Right.
his head on the power button for like the last 15 minutes.
Whatever works.
I think if I move him, he'll hit the power.
All right, so we are basically there. What are we at? I guess I can go another 3 minutes. We're at 2:27. So anybody got anything? Any pertinent information?
What are you doing for New Year's?
I don't know that we're doing anything yet. I'm gonna hang out with a buddy and his wife, providing this isn't the big C. And then we'll see how that goes. But we're not, neither one of them drink, and my wife doesn't drink, and I drink so little anymore. It'll be an early evening, I'm sure. How about you?
Well, like
You got two
I'm gonna
minutes.
go hang out at the aquarium with those cool people.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Nancy and Kelly and Jake.
I'm gonna.
I didn't hear if Kitty was going to make it. Is Kitty making it?
Which one?
How many kitties do we know?
Oh, I thought you were saying Kenny. And I was like, I still don't know which Kenny. But Killer is not. She's got to work.
She's got to work. Well, that's too bad. One of
But
these days,
I'm
one of us has to meet her.
gonna pick fights with the aquarium people, and then have Kelly back me up.
And she can just baffle him with all her knowledge.
Yep.
And Matt, I cannot echo that more.
I know. I hope that you don't have it. That would suck.
Did you just put the kibosh on me?
Well, I mean, you just said, I hope I don't have the big C.
Oh, no, wrong. Yes, that's probably the wrong terminology because that is referred to as cancer. I meant COVID.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Well, that's much better.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like feeling really bad.
No. I think it might be the old COVID because it's definitely upper respiratory. Could be just the flu. I mean, which is what COVID is. But we don't have to get into that with 21 seconds left.
If it was cancer, though, your voice sounds really cool with it.
It's throat cancer, and I sound fantastic.
You know, maybe not all cancer is bad cancer. Kind of like maybe it's Deadpool cancer.
Yeah, right. Which was going to kill him until they got intervened with. Nobody, as far as I know, Babs, except for the couple people that we already know about. So that was my bad. I apologize. I should have thought that through better. Once again, too many hits to the head. So, damn it. Now I'm extra sad and I won't be there. Oh, you were gonna go? Son of a man! If you showed up, I would tell the wife she's on her own. I'd go down there by myself. It's the medium C word. Andy, hope you get better. But yeah, I'm not too bad. I mean, you can see I'm not like bedridden or anything, but holy crap, I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I did not know that. Well, I'm glad I never punched him in the prostate.
In the prostrate. We're doing
When I get
Christmas
into a fight,
again
that's
on
my
New Year's Eve.
go-to move.
Yeah, just punching somebody right in the prostrate.
Yep, because it's my best chance of being able to get away from them. I'm awfully slow anymore. You know what though? COVID is kind of fun. I've I I think the best time of my life over the last 5 years was when everybody in my family had COVID but me, and I got to quarantine for 2 weeks by myself. It was amazing. Oh my gosh. It was like a vacation for 2 weeks. I didn't have to drive people anywhere or get anything. It was awesome.
Jenny's like, wait. How does one punch someone in the prostrate? And Maddie
Oh,
says, I can show you videos. Jesus. Well, on that note, I think we'll see you all later. Have a wonderful day. Ed, thank you very much for coming up. It was great. And thanks for all of you folks that showed up. I do appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend and your New Year's Eve parties. Just don't do anything too crazy or stupid. I want to see y'all back here in the same condition as how you're leaving us. So we'll see y'all later. Bye. Watch it take 25 minutes to end now.